Hey there, I'm Scott Hand, and this is the Autonomous Parallel Parking Project. About a year ago, I was suiting up to take my driver's test, and like most people, my biggest worry was the parallel parking. Now, I usually drive a pickup truck, so parallel parking is a little bit more difficult. I kept sitting there thinking, there's gotta be a better way to do this. And I found out that there was. I was watching TV one day and I saw a commercial for Ford's Active Park Assist. The car pulled by the spot, the driver hit a button, let go of the wheel, and the car just pulled straight into the spot perfectly. And I was like, I want that. And then I thought to myself, I wonder how hard that could be to program. I took programming classes throughout most of my high school career, so I thought, how hard could it be to just do this myself? Thus the essential question was born. What are the issues involved with building and programming a vehicle to parallel park itself? I was still determined to build a rideable vehicle, but after a conversation with my coach, Mr. Schmidt, we determined that it would probably be best to start out with something small, like an RC car, because it would be much less expensive and a lot easier to work with. The original plan was to start with the RC car, teach myself some basic electrical engineering skills, teach myself how to program on the Arduino microcontroller, and use some cheap ultrasonic distance sensors so that the car could carry out the action of parallel parking. The plan after that was to build a golf cart-sized vehicle that I could ride and program that to parallel park itself. However, things didn't go quite as I planned. Oh, it's unplugged. I still really want to build a car.
You're running out of time for that.
You're right.
This is your project. You need to decide what you want to do next. But if you still really want to build something, I've got an idea.
Every single thing needs to be exact, or nothing will work. So what worked? I was really interested in my project and in programming and in the electrical engineering that I was doing. So I loved every second of researching what I was doing. And what didn't work? Obviously a huge thing that didn't work was we didn't have enough time. More specifically with my project, with building the RC car itself, what didn't work is I needed absolute perfection for everything. And I simply didn't have the resources or materials to do that. Also, the cheap sensors that I had used for the parallel parking bit really were not good enough for that. Also, because everything was not perfectly aligned, my wheels on the RC car had a tendency to go out like that while I was driving, and that was a bit of a problem for the motors turning. And also with the perfection again, the back gears on the RC car, I thought that they were just going to fit right together. I thought I could glue something right up against it, and I couldn't. And that was a huge setback because I thought that that would take all of 5 minutes, and it took me about 2 weeks. In the first semester of the class, we worked on something called a lit review. And personally, for my topic, I pretty much felt like that was a waste of time. I did lots of research on Ford's active park assist and what people's ethical views were on having cars parallel park themselves. But for what my project was, it was completely unnecessary. If there was to be a cycle 3 of my project, and I was given a lot of time to work with it, I would definitely go bigger, but not as big as I had originally intended. I would want to use my welding skill set to create something that could be exact. The funny part about this whole process is that the biggest challenge of everything that I did was not the programming, which was the original challenge that I thought that I was going to be dealing with. The main challenge that took up the majority of my time was building the RC car from scratch. Trying to get everything perfectly aligned so that everything ran and that everything worked was so time-taking. I spent multiple hours in school, after school, 3 periods a day, working on getting everything aligned. And it's still not aligned, as you can see. All in all, this has been a really fun process. I learned a lot about engineering, which is what I'm majoring in college, and it was really worthwhile. I learned a lot of really cool things, not necessarily answering my essential question and not necessarily completely related to my topic. The things that I learned in this process will definitely affect what I choose as a career and what I choose with what I want to do for the rest of my life. That's all I got for now. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask me. Roll credits.